All right, it is time to water our money tree. Never too early to start your child's financial education.
Even beginning in preschool, kids can begin learning how best to use their dollars and cents. Here to talk about how you can set up your kids for financial success, we have Josh Frankel, Director of Portfolio and Wealth Management at Ferguson Wellman. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
great to
being
have you here.
Perfect timing to have you in to talk about this as all the kiddos are going back to school. I know you've got 3 at home that are getting into the new school year.
Yes, it's a busy time. I'm sure they're watching right now, but 2 of them are back yesterday and 1 today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I take it you've had some money talks with your kids before. Why is it so important to really, not shy away from this topic with your kids?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really important topic for all kids, all families. All families are going to be different in how they talk about money and how they handle money. But I think there's a few things that should be relevant for all families. Number one, people really need to know what is money? What can it do for you? We used to go to the Children's Museum and they had a play store set up. And even at 2 or 3 years old, you hand over fake money, you get the fake apple. But they learn at a very early age. And when you said preschool, that is very true.
Yeah.
And then second, how do you get money? And it's earned, and it's usually earned through work. And then finally, once you get the money, what can you do with the money? Most of us like to spend it, but there are other things you can do.
Well, should we focus in on that third one then? Because I feel like, items 1 and 2, like you said, I also went to that Children's Museum and did exactly that as a kid. So that concept I feel like can stick even for, a 4 or 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Money buys things, but money can do other things.
Yeah.
What are some of those things that you can teach at a young age?
Yeah, at a young age, kids can learn to save. There's something called the marshmallow test, where you can have 1 marshmallow today, but if you wait, you can get 2 marshmallows tomorrow. And so the concept of saving is really important, and it can be done in creative and fun ways at a very early age. Obviously, you can invest money for the future. You can give money away. You can support, local charities and what you're passionate about. So there's more things than just spending money that you can do with it.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting as we move into more and more of a cashless society. It's very easy to tell kids when you run out of these physical dollars, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case if you open up a new credit card or you go and you take out a loan. And a lot of us unfortunately learn the hard way, about some of this stuff. So how do you start to kind of broach those topics and try to teach them before they get stuck in that position?
It's a great question, and I think it's okay to make mistakes. We want our kids to make a few mistakes, not big mistakes, but small ones. And so learning with cash, I think, is important. Quarters, dimes, dollar bills, $5 bills, learning that there's actually money there. Sometimes I pay at the grocery store with my phone, and I'm wondering, God, kids must think this is some sort of magic that just shows up on your phone mysteriously.
I never thought about that. There could be a disconnect there without seeing the cash transaction all the time.
Yeah, so I think it's important at a young age that they learn it's cash. And as they get older, they can learn that, debit cards, credit cards, all the different apps that they can use. But there's those fundamental building blocks to learn that it's actual cash.
What is so we talked about, the kind of foundational moments, maybe to teach a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. But as you get closer to high school or maybe even college, what is the skill set that somebody should maybe have by that age?
Absolutely. Maybe get a job so you really learn how that works. I think basic budgeting is going to be really important. And by the time you're driving, maybe even a credit card to start paying for gas and learn that credit is a convenience and not to be used as a credit. All of a sudden that $100 expense could cost you $120 from all the interest.
I'll tell you what, I learned about taxes real fast when my first, pay stubs come in, and
But
you're
you
like,
said
this
I made
wasn't the hourly rate.
What happened?
Just get a job.
Where did this go?
Well, okay, so how about a financial advisor? A lot of parents, I think, just have their kids talk to whoever their parents talk to. When should you kind of have that conversation?
So, first of all, we're thrilled that the state of Oregon has taken that financial literacy so seriously, and starting in 2027 is that all high schoolers have to have at least half a credit of a financial literacy class. So that is tremendous. And there's lots of places where kids can go to learn. Obviously, a lot of online resources. We have a program on our website, Dollars and Cents, that people can go to, and there's all kinds of videos available for them about basic budgeting, basic investing, how credit works. and really learn that at an early age.
We have said on this show for, we've been doing this show together for 4.5 years now, and
Yeah.
we've said the whole time, I cannot believe it wasn't a requirement to
Yeah.
have this taught in school. It is so valuable. I'm glad that that's going to change. We got to let you go here soon, but any final thoughts that you just want to make sure parents at home know when talking to their kids about money?
No, I think it's we should talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, we all have different circumstances, but it's important to talk about it. It can be very emotional. And the more we talk about it openly and have some of those hard conversations, I think we'll prepare our kids for a better future.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely the way to go. Well, Josh, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah.
to have
Appreciate
you
it.
here. And good luck to the kiddos.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good new school year on tap. So, hey, if you want more financial education as we get back to cracking open those books, you can find some expert advice, dollars and cents. We'll link to all of that on KOIN.com. Just check out this story on the AM Extra page.